Welcome to the learning module, Personal Bills. The Idaho legislature introduces bills or legislation from two sources, standing committees and individual legislators. Bills introduced by individual legislators are called personal bills. Personal bills and committee bills are easy to differentiate. At the top of the bill, committee bills show by and the committee name. Personal bills show by the legislator's name. So what is a personal bill and how does it differ from a regular bill? If you look in the House Rule Book, you will not find the term personal bill, but the term is implied in Rule 24. It says, after the 20th day of any session, no bill shall be introduced except by committees. Okay then, what exactly does that mean for days 1 through 20? In the House, this implies that personal bills can also be introduced. But what is a personal bill? For clarification, let's look at Senate Rule 11, which actually uses the term personal bills. The Senate Rule starts out much like the House Rule, except limiting the time period to the first 12 days of session. It says, no bill shall be introduced after the 12th legislative day except by one of the standing committees. Then further on, Senate Rule 11 explains what happens with a personal bill. Any member of the Senate may file personal bills and resolutions with the office of the Secretary of the Senate, and at any time during the first 12 legislative days, the Secretary is authorized and directed to receive such personal bills and resolutions, assign them a number for introduction in the Senate, and to cause them to be reproduced. Interestingly enough, that is exactly the same process the House uses if you replace the word Senate with House and Secretary of the Senate with Chief Clerk of the House. Personal bills in the Senate are further required to be referred to Judiciary and Rules Committee after they are printed. Now that we know how personal bills are handled in the House and Senate, the obvious question is this: why draft a personal bill? That's a good question. The advantage of a personal bill over a committee bill is that the proposed legislation, or RS, for a personal bill does not have to be approved in a committee print hearing to get a bill number and be printed for the public to see. This is big because it allows any legislator to bring any bill or issue to the public's attention without the possibility of getting buried in Phase 1 of the committee process. And that's about where the advantage ends. In the 2016 session in the Senate, only two personal bills, both introduced by minority members, were referred to the Senate Judiciary and Rules Committee, where they both died without hearings. On the other side of the rotunda, in the 2016 session in the House, 19 personal bills died in the House Ways and Means Committee without hearings. 5 of those bills were introduced by majority members, and 14 were introduced by minority members. Issues covered by personal bills introduced in the House and Senate during the 2016 session include sexual orientation, animal care and torture, minimum wage, health insurance exchange, and concealed weapons. Clearly, the more controversial issues on either end of the political spectrum. Now you understand the role of personal bills in the Idaho legislature. Continue your legislative learning journey by viewing all of the learning modules in the Legislative Learning Lab.